And we're here to party this morning. Whoop, whoop. Just kidding. I'm way too close. Holy moly. I remembered to bring the other stand for the phone and see it in my glasses. See it? It's right there. Let me put it on all messages. There you go. Good morning, good morning. Lil Cow Weather Channel. I love that. Good morning. Chatty Jen, Rad Tech, Helena, good to see you this morning. East PA girl. Good morning. What is up, everybody? What is up? So, as you see my title and hopefully my thumbnail, Maddie Soto, we're here to get justice for Maddie Soto. This morning, we're just anticipating the trial coming up for the monster that allegedly unalived her and was messing with her since she was 8. And I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how I feel about Brian Koberger either. But it's basically seems to be a pattern. It seems to be what these people seem to want or to do whenever they get their backs up against the wall. Thank you, Helena. That's so sweet. I feel like I'm so close to you guys because the holder is like in your face. In your face. See my nails? I love them. I love them so much. They're already growing out. It's been like a week. Good morning, Buck Cherry Lover. I don't think they should let him plead to the M charges. He deserves the DP. I agree. But it's almost like they just don't want to deal with it or something. It's weird. It's like, I thought Florida was tough. I thought Florida was like a stand your ground state. I thought Florida was like, heck no, you're going to pay for what you did. And then it's like, we come to this and nah, he's just going to get to plea. Just like, why? What happened? How did we get here? And why is it before, you know what? This happens all of the time. The day before he's set to start trial, here we are with the plea deal trial. And I'm just like, I knew it would happen. I told Dolly when he did this whole, we're going to, first of all, at first, before all this came about, I was going to go to Florida. But then it turned out it was like dead of July. And I'm like, yeah, I'd go to Key West. Yeah, I'd go to like, you know, Fort Lauderdale. But dead center, Orlando. I just, I can't do it. I already have a hard time enough in Virginia. It's so muggy and so hot. It's unbearable. But so then he's like, okay, well, I have to go by myself. And I'm like, plus I don't have that much time off at work, especially now that I've moved over to this new building, because now I'm basically just front and center. It's just me. So he was going to go. And I'm like, you know, I cannot imagine. Thank you for that floating heart, misunderstood. I cannot imagine his family members, whether or not it's just his parents. But I cannot imagine them wanting to. I love it. Thank you for the bubble heart, Helena. Oh, that's so cute. No, but what I'm trying to spit out and say, I can't imagine his family members wanting to move forward with something so cut and dry. They tried to make it to where his phone evidence wouldn't be admissible. They tried to say like he didn't willingly submit his phone evidence or allowed them to search it, or like they went against his rights. And it's just like, oh, I can't stand that when they do that. Like, he shouldn't even have rights at this point. Like, he's a monster. But that was denied. So his claim to have his rights taken due to his searching of his phone or whatnot was denied. So I believe that was their last push to try and have a defense for this man, because that would have been their defense. They would have said, you know, his rights were violated and therefore the phone evidence shouldn't come into play. But that's never going to work. The only good thing is at least Maddie maintains a little teeny level of respect, that people don't have to look at pictures. Yeah, because the jury was going to have to look at that. they try to take that out of the equation too. They try to take imagery out, which with CP, you're not going to hand it out to everybody, but as jury, they would have had to at least look at censored versions of it, right? And so I can't imagine anybody, much less his parents, who are very aware of what the media and what social media is saying about them. I cannot imagine them going through with it. And this is what I'm telling Dolly at the time. I'm like, I just cannot imagine them going through it and allowing this case to go forward, knowing that he's got absolutely no defense. It was on his phone. There was multiple hundreds of thousands of however many exactly to the day. Thank you, Bridget, for hitting that like button. There's 30 likes and 69 in the room. So half of you guys are holding out on me. That's okay. I don't think he should have rights after today if he takes a plea deal. Amen. I don't either. But you know how that works. If he takes a plea deal, he's going to go and get situated in his new forever home, and he's going to have whatever. I don't think that they're going to hurt him there, like it's been alleged. I think Stefan was looking forward to the idea of those pictures and videos being looked at. I do too. But his parents, no, not so much. And his parents are the ones that are providing him with his little root beer floaties, candies. I don't think that he had a choice. It's just almost like I don't know what happened, because like, what happened to the hard badass Stephen Stearns that was like, I'd rather prefer to be on death row because it's an easier out. And the way that he said that in the conversation with his parents, that it's an easier way out, like, you're a coward. You're the absolute worst coward of all cowards. Hey, Miss Judy, good to see you this morning. I had to like, sorry, I'm always awesome, misunderstood. Thank you so much for hitting that like. Good morning, Mona Lisa. Hey, Jules, thank you so much. You guys are the best. I see it's starting to get up and evened out. 42 likes and 75 in the room. He will be housed with all others like him. I know, that's exactly what Dolly said. And I don't... Hey, Cats Hodgepodgery. I don't like that, because it's like, now he's like high profile. He's gonna get moved just like Richard Allen. Richard Allen got moved somewhere in Oklahoma. And so now he's moved over. I'm sure he's still pretty much in solitary, because like when you get high profile like that, all of the other inmates and people that are in there with you basically don't have anything to lose. Like, they've got nothing left to lose. Like, a lot of them are there for a long time. Some of them are there for life and whatnot. And basically, so it's like they've got nothing to lose. So they're out here watching things like this and finding out, you know, such as hurts kids. And so therefore they have like their mindset to go after these people. But the facility has to protect that individual, because that person is in their custody. And if that person gets hurt or whatever, like, what kind of messed up society do we live in? Now that I think about it, this reminds me of EMS a lot, and I'll get to it in just a second. But so basically, there's people that are out trying to get him because they dislike his crimes, which all of us would agree. Amen. Like, go for it, whoever you are. But the facility cannot allow him to have that occur, because they'll get sued. Exactly. They'll get sued. And so, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And it's like like, when do you see someone actually get justice in prison? Lately. Before, back in the day, they did it all the time. Good morning, Trisha. But now, lately, with the cases we're following here within the last 10 years, the prison doesn't want responsibility for not protecting their inmates. We'll talk fast, hands, I type. Yes, no, I exactly. And so they're out here guarding the worst of the worst to make sure their ass is covered. And I said that reminded me of EMS, because in EMS, from the very beginning when I first went to Academy, And I just did like basic. I was just a volunteer, so I didn't have like medic or any higher learning. So I wasn't like this big professional EMT. Thank you, Helena. Cats, Hodgepodgery, Trisha, Clifford Red, Vanessa, and Jules. Tammy, awesome. Oh no, Jules didn't get it. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. You guys are the best. Thank you, Helena. Make sure you tell Helena thank you if you got a membership. I have like, so yesterday I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I always do this every morning. Go back to the EMS thing. Is when you first get trained in EMS, it basically, they tell you from the very start, if you drive by something and you are not the first or the only responder, or you see other people there, or you see that they've called 911 and that things don't seem, like they're that bad or whatever, don't stop. And I'm like, that's not what I would do. Like, I was sitting there thinking, this is like day one of EMS Academy. I'm like, I would never, like, why would I not stop? And the instructor's like, well, you're not officially under the city yet. So until you get fully certified, you're not actually a fully certified EMT. And so the reason that you would not want to stop is because when you're certified, you work under not the company, you work under the city. So the city basically has your back a little bit. And I'm just like, what? So then, like, on day one, I'm already like, what did I get myself into? And so she goes on and, she's saying like, well, if somehow, you get to scene and there's someone dying and you perform CPR and you don't do it fully correctly, or they find something within how you did it or whatever, and they are unsatisfied with your performance or whatever, it's in case of the lawsuits. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, so you're telling me, as this person that's here trying to help, trying to learn how to freaking save people's lives, you're telling me that until I'm fully certified and only working underneath the city, I should just avoid anything that I see that may possibly need my help, even though I know how to help? Really? And the instructor was like, yes, absolutely. Do not do any type of EMS work unless you're fully certified, you've got all your credentials, and you can show A, B, C, D through Z of what you are, who you are, why. And I'm like, so you're telling me that you, like, the people that are hurt, you would think that they would just rather me try to save them versus just, and the lady's like, no, there's nothing to it. You come up on a scene, you see something bad, you want to try and help CPR, and you don't stop. You just don't stop until you're fully certified. I'm like, well, dang. Okay, I guess I'll have to follow that rule. Good morning, Elevated Truth. And so, of course, I followed it. There was like a time or two where I saw something where I thought I could help, but I didn't help because there was a lot of people already on scene at the one occasion. And then the other time it was not that serious of a situation, so I didn't stop. But I just couldn't comprehend how we live in a society where it's like you protect the prisoner that's done the worst thing possible, or you don't go help somebody when you're willing, able, and capable. But it's about the money. It's about we gotta worry about getting sued. And I just think that's so I just think that's shitty. I think that's really shitty. And so I don't think that Stephen Stearns is ever really going to get his, like people say, prison justice. I don't think so. Same thing with Brian Koberger. It's alleged that Kaylee's dad's been saying like, oh, I've got a present for you when you get to jail or prison. He's upset, and rightfully so. There's stuff coming out about Brian Koberger unaliving them 4 people. He's and you know what? That sounds really shitty. Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana not just 4 people. I'm mad I just did that. I literally just said his full name, like he's the freaking star here, and that's not how it should be at all. But now that the gag order's been lifted with Brian K, it's just, it's crazy. I feel so sad for Kaylee's dad because she wasn't even supposed to be there. I don't think either of them will get what they need to. Yeah, well, I believe in the ultimate afterlife type of punishment, so thank God for that. But you know, that's what bothers me too, is when they go to these facilities and get locked up and whatnot, there's like a big wide awake, like I'm gonna find Jesus moment for some of these, and I just don't, it's not godlike to hate or be angry about that, because like, you know, you're finding God and whatnot, but at the same time it's like, would you have found God if you didn't get locked up? Like if you lived your regular life and did bad things every day, would you have that awakening? Do you know what I mean? It's like, now you're grasping onto things to try and save yourself. It's all for yourself, and I just don't, there's a lot of things in life I don't really get. But today at 1:30, we're gonna see, and I believe they're gonna have it televised somewhere, because I know a lot of channels are talking about watching along with their audience. I follow Grizzly True Crime a lot, of course, after Dolly Vision first, and I think that I'm gonna try and find it for him, because he said he wanted to stream it because he was gonna try to be there for the case, but now that they're not gonna have a case, he said he wanted to say something to Jen Soto. And Jen Soto, man, Maddie was desperately crying out to people to get attention. Like when she sent that text message about moving to the woods and living out in the woods or something like that, I mean, hello, come on now. Somebody should have seen something somewhere. But with the text messages we saw between her and Stefan, and she was like talking about pregnancy coins or whatever, I was the only person in that Dolly chat where they started talking about her being pregnant. At this point, for me, it's neither here nor there. Talking about it, saying that she was or might have been or whatever, just makes me feel gross. I think I take this case so, not personally, what's the word? I take the case to heart more than I do with a lot of other cases. I have a daughter that's 13, and so for me, it's more real. It's more personable. And her mother is just as guilty. Amen. That's exactly what I was... Chatty Jen, you know me well. I was getting to that. I just couldn't spit it out fast enough. But thank you, Misunderstood, for becoming a Wrangler. But her mother, it's like she had cognitive dissonance. Do you guys know what that means? That basically, in how I interpret it, is that where you know things, but you choose to not believe the things that you know. And so I think that's why they would have a hard time prosecuting her, because the way that she speaks, she almost has convinced herself in her mind that it didn't happen or that it wasn't happening. But does that mean that like she really truly didn't know? Because of her words counter that. Her words, I just can't, and I can't comprehend a mother that could be that way, because I have my own child that's the same age, and I have, you know, a boyfriend right now, and I've had, you know, my ex-husband, and those are the only 2 men really my kids ever known, because I didn't start dating until my kid was like 6 after her father. But I just can't imagine being that oblivious that you... And she never even seemed like she really even liked Stefan like that. Like it just was so nonchalant when talking about Stefan. Jen Soto, basically, it's like she told on herself. She told on herself, like with the comments about the Woody Allen effect and so it's like, what kind of like, I can't even imagine. It's like the house full of the 3 of them plus their roommates, all living in the house, and her and Maddie are like fighting for the attention of this man that neither of them really should be even looking at, because he's just absolutely disgusting. It was like he was Maddie's boyfriend. Exactly. And she allowed it. Exactly. Just to not get him to leave. Like, it's like she wanted to keep him, so she was allowing him to sleep with her kid. But why would she even want to keep him if she's not even sleeping with him? He's not doing nothing. He's not working, unless he was selling images, unless he was getting money some sort of way from utilizing that type of nasty stuff, which we don't know everything. But oh my God, I have a family member that thinks that way from childhood trauma, not excusing Jen's behavior at all. Yeah, I get that. It's just, when you have trauma like that, you need to seek help. And if you feel a certain way, or if you see something and you know it's wrong, like, I refuse to believe in just, I was brought up this way, so this is how I am. Like, there's a right and a left. There's a right and a left. So if you choose to go right or you choose to go left, it's your choice. There's a lot of people that grow up in life and have a hard childhood, or they have a hard time in life. But instead of going the hard way, they choose the easy way. Like, if their whole family and the history of their family is drugs, let's say, ruggies, they have a choice. They have a choice when they hit age of where they start knowing what rugs are. They could choose to do rugs, or they could choose to be completely against rugs. I've known people that have gone through it and have done both. One did the opposite of what their parents did or what their family did. And the other did, the other did better. And so you always have that choice. And that's my opinion. I gotta go in here in a minute. I can understand what you're saying. It's each person's choice. Good morning, Yvonne Jennings, sunshine. Butterfly Kisses, good to see you. You snuck in here. I didn't see you come in. And what I'm saying really is that it is their choice. At the same time, though, I do understand how some people are so messed up that they're almost like not mentally there anymore. And that's where I think the society has an issue, is where we're failing in the mental health field. We have too much at our fingertips, in my opinion. Weak-minded, yep. That too. I gotta show you guys. I got some stuff for my mystery bags. I've been doing some packing soaps and stuff. If you got stuff here recently, it's going out to you today, hopefully. But I had an issue with a couple shirt orders, so there's actually still a couple of shirt orders from the store that aren't fully out or done even. The design came back and it was all wonky, and then we had to reorder it, and then, I mean, it was just such a big deal that it took like almost 2 months. So I've been adding extra things to those bags, and I wanted to find some cute stuff to add. So of course I'm just like looking around on Temu, nothing like extravagant. You know, I love pens, so I found a new chicken head pen. So yesterday I'm like walking around the house going, chicken, chicken, chicken heads, chicken, chicken. I don't know. I'm easily amused. You gotta excuse me. But it writes really good too. That was like the bonus of it. I love it. But anyways, so be patient with me if you have an order outstanding, or if you're missing something, just send me an email. pjvision22@gmail.com, and we'll definitely always try to fix it. Awesome! You got a mystery box your husband got you. I'm so glad. I love making the mystery boxes. It's always so much fun for me. And Dolly gets mad at all the stuff I put in there, because I just like want to pack it up all big and nice, and I don't know. I love it. Anyways, guys, I gotta run. Have a good rest of your day. Try to be kind to somebody, especially if they're in customer service, because it's really hard nowadays. People don't know how to have conversation. And, you know, we'll get through it. You guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much for being here with me every day. Bicycle.